in the mic a little bit more real quick?
I am talking into the mic. I've been talking the whole...
So then just turn his up.
You're saying you can't hear me?
Well, no, I just
The loudest... Really?
You can hear him and Nyjah's mic.
All right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk.
Are you good now? Are you
No,
okay? No?
But
You better be good because Nyjah's here.
yeah, I see that.
Nyjah Houston, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming,
So
buddy.
good to be here.
see you.
Yes.
Do you ever wear pants?
I do. I've actually been wearing pants a little more lately. I skated that last Street League in Paris in pants.
You did?
Yeah.
Did it feel weird?
That was rare. That was the
I was
first.
going to say, did the earth break
'cause-
open?
'cause some-
Just cracked on the middle of the
Actually,
course?
It's funny. I missed a tray flip in my run. And
Because of the pants.
Apparently, that was the first tray flip I missed, like, ever in Street League or something. They had some
Wow.
crazy stat. And then I saw some comments, like, yesterday, and they're like, oh, it's the pants. It's the pants.
How
But,
many-
I skated all right. I skated all right.
I saw it. You skated really well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was amazing.
How many times have you competed with pants? I
Well,
can't believe I'm
I
asking you.
used to. I used to all the time.
It's
and
a
then- and
legitimate
then
question, man.
yeah.
He's got shorts on all the
Yeah,
time.
no, I'm happy we're getting into this. I used to skate in pants all the time, and then I slowly started skating in shorts more and more, and then eventually it just became way more comfortable, like not feeling anything around my like knees. It's just feels better when you're bending down and popping your tricks and stuff. And at first it was like everyone's a little scared to skate in shorts, especially on rails, because you're gonna scrape your shin on a rail, your board's gonna hit your leg, whatever. And then I just ended up getting used to it.
And what about compression pants? Because you were rocking those, right?
Well, yeah. So I wore those a couple times. One time, it was only a couple times in contests. One time it was because my knee, I got in a dirt bike accident, like a week,
Riding dirt bikes.
a week before the contest, and my knee was like completely scraped over, and I had a hard time even skating. That was the Street League back a few years ago.
But you see, you covered it for aesthetics?
No, I covered it because I honestly like needed something to cover it. Because
Okay.
if I hit it again, it would have been bad.
Did you get that idea from Kobe?
I feel like I got that idea just from watching a lot of other athletes out there. Yeah, like basketball players or whatever. And also around those years, I was dealing with a lot of knee pain from my bone bruise in my left knee that happened like back a lot of years ago. And I feel like some of that probably helped with it a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I used to wear them because when I knee slide, I couldn't knee slide because my knee doesn't work anymore. So I always flick over to my butt and I would melt the side of my calf. So if I had compression pants on, it would stop the plywood from melting my calf.
Oh shit, yeah.
But I got the idea because Kobe just
Oh,
looked
yeah.
sweet on the court.
You should have
with
worn
it.
sweats like Staub.
Yeah,
Sweats under your
no,
pads.
Yeah, no offense to Kevin, but I would never like. He looked like a gardener, and it turned me off so bad because there was a time there where he had wrist guards and like long sleeve,
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
gardening gloves. So
You
you're,
did
you're,
ha-
you're
okay,
on
so
brand
it
with the
was
garden. Yeah,
gardening while skating,
we
yeah.
wore gardening gloves because we couldn't afford the fancy skate gloves.
Yeah, yeah.
But
wasn't. I respected his vibe, but it wasn't for
Okay.
me. Yeah.
have you had any lingering injuries, chronic stuff?
There's a few things, a lot of ankle pain, a lot of hot pockets.
Same with Riley.
Bro, like I have to be so careful. Like even when I land a trick, a lot of the times if I'm just like a little over, I skate goofy. So if I'm a little off to the right of my board and just get the ankle just a little too much movement like that,
Yeah.
fuck, it hurts.
Wait, did you say hot pocket?
Yeah, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
When your toe comes up.
It's when you land in like too much compression on your ankle like that.
Right,
And
so your
then-
toe sort of
yeah,
Yeah. up towards your
yeah,
shin.
yeah,
Okay. And that's a hot pocket.
Yeah, it's a hot pocket.
Eh.
Because it gets hot.
Yeah, no, I'm here now.
Aside from that, let's see. That knee injury that I had, it was back like over 10 years ago now. That was my most pain I've ever dealt with in skating. It wasn't even the ACL that happened close to 2 years ago now. It was this bone bruise that took so many years for the pain to go away. And it really didn't start getting better until I started working out more and stretching more. I think stretching had a lot to do with it.
When did you get into stretching and doing things outside of skating?
So I first started doing some little workouts and stuff probably around like 19, and at that point, you know, the whole Olympic skating talk wasn't a thing yet, and I feel like there was not really any skaters that were kind of venturing off into training in that way. I don't really know what sparked me to want to do it. I think just, you know, longevity and wanting to feel as good on my board for as long as possible. And then it was a few years after that, probably around the age of like 23, where it was just like a New Year's resolution. I was like, all right, I am going to stretch every single day this year. And see,
Even if you're not skating?
Even if I'm not skating. And it turned into a morning routine where I just stretch every single morning. And I feel like it made such a big difference.
Where'd you get your stretching ideas from? Like, what particular stretches do you do, and who influenced that?
I remember some of them that my dad used to make me do, and when I was a kid, and I was so over it because I didn't understand it when I was that young. I mean, I'm like 7, 8 years old. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why are you having me like sit like this?
But was he doing that before skating, or just doing that in general?
He was doing it, yeah, before, after sometimes, and he would be like I would be sitting, with my legs like spread up and just like try to get like the hamstrings and stuff, and he would be like behind me like pushing my back, like making sure, like kind of overdoing it.
Right.
And I was like, damn, this is so brutal, and that probably turned me off from wanting to stretch on my own for a while. And then I realized how much it would help, and it really did. It got rid of this knee pain, and then yeah, I mean, obviously we had the ACL like a year and a half ago, but that thing healed up great, so feeling good.
What procedures did you have?
So I actually got kind of lucky because I'm not sure if you saw the fall. It was on this like big gap to rail. I was doing gap grind, slipped out, and I landed with my knee, not in a normal like twisting ACL tear kind of way. I landed like this at a really high speed, and my tibia pushed forward and pushed through my ACL.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
But I didn't know that there's like,
NBD is just all day right here.
yeah, it's kind of like a freak accident thing. Very unfortunate because I was so hyped on street skating and filming the rest of my parts at the time. But I didn't know there was like 2 parts of the ACL. It's like an X, and the front one holds most of the strength, and then the back one's smaller. But I only tore my front one, so I still had some of the original ACL in there. So I think that made me to be able to recover a little faster. And then also
did you get the one you broke repaired?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, we did a hamstring graft.
Okay, they did that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
How long does that take to get back to 100%?
100%, I would say like no less than 9 months. But I was skating some flat ground around 4 to 5 months, and then I think I skated my first contest after like 7, 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a serious injury.
I was on it though. So much PT, just every.
But
every day.
You were shooting that video after Tokyo Olympics.
Yes. After Tokyo, I was already filming for a couple years before that.
That's what I thought.
But after Tokyo, I like really started going in and getting after it every day.
Did you have an immediate regret? Like, what have I done trying to do this video when I'm still trying to chase this Olympic?
As far as,
I just wondered, because I know you put yourself at great risk, obviously, with the video that you did.
Yeah.
Doing big gaps and rails and stuff like that. But I know that there must have been part of you that was like, the Olympics are coming back around.
Yeah.
And I should be in top form for that.
You know, I wasn't really stressing on this Olympics coming up after I tore my ACL because I knew I had enough time to recover.
Okay.
And I was confident that the surgery went really well. And, but I would say I more had regret for before the Tokyo Olympics. I should have cut off street skating a little farther before, because it was like 2 months came around before, and it's hard to get out of that street.
But when you're saying
filming
street
mode.
skating, you're talking about just being in the wild.
Yeah, and I'm talking about not just going out and having fun and
You're
skating,
talking
like
about filming.
dicking around at little spots. I'm talking about like going for like hard tricks and
Okay.
actually pushing
Big
myself.
hard tricks.
Yeah. And it was probably like 3 months before Tokyo. I sprained my wrist really bad. I don't know if I tore the ligaments on that fall or if it happened a while ago. But it was.
Do you
like,
really need your wrist?
I mean, yeah, you need them to fall.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think of that.
it sucks, bro. Like, yeah, you don't need them that much if you're landing your tricks,
Right.
but when you're skating a contest like the Olympics on that big of a course, you need to have that confidence to be able to fall the right way.
And also, if you want to throw an invert or a laybacker on the quarter pipe,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah,
that
I'm sure
option,
he's about
right?
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Does that
saying.
mean you have to compensate when you fall? You'd have to put your elbow down, or just move that hand out of the way.
Yeah.
Like,
suffer
Yeah, you
through
just
it.
got to take it to your side
Right.
and just kind of get your body around. But yeah, in the first practice in Tokyo, I had a bad fall and re-sprained that wrist, and then it just really kind of messed up my confidence for the rest of the practice.
would you
Yeah.
wear a wrist guard?
Yeah,
You would.
yeah. A lot of guys wear wrist guards because
Yeah,
so many
Yeah.
of us have wrist problems.
I was just talking to somebody about making a video for old people to skate again, like, because Tony and I are old, and I get DMs about, man, if you could do a 540 at 50, can I skate? I'm like, everybody can skate. Like, what should I do? And I'm like, you should not do kickflips. That's my first advice. Like, you should not flip your board. You should, like, go to a skate park, ride a bowl, like, get some softer wheels and find a line and carve around and wear everything. Because when you're older, and I was like, wrist guards to me were always so uncool, and also for
But that's like the go-to for street skaters is
Yeah.
just a wrist guard.
yeah, because that's the thing that they put down. And
But it is funny from our perspective.
right,
That's the last thing you would put on.
right. But think about
Because you
if
can't grab.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? And also, like when you go to fall, you end up sliding.
yeah.
right. But I broke
know.
my wrists so many times, both of them, and now hearing myself say that, I'm like, did you wear wrist guards? No, because they were uncool. But I also went to hospital like too many times and got broken wrists because I wouldn't wear them. I should have had them on.
Yeah.
Have you actually broken your wrist?
I somehow haven't broken a wrist, and I somehow still haven't broken any bone aside from my finger.
What?
I don't know. I don't know how. Well, I did have the fracture in my tibia, but it didn't fully break. It was just a fracture that went kind of around that area.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but torn ACL is, to me, worse than breaking a bone.
Yeah, it's crazy too. I didn't even know it tore when it happened because
could just
I was
walk.
I was in I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain from the fracture that happened here, and it kind of went around to the backside as like a bone bruise, and I was in so much pain for back there that I wasn't even thinking about
Oh,
my
right.
ACL.
Right.
Yeah, and then I got an MRI like a week later and got the bad news, and fuck, I was devastated.
I bet.
Yeah.
Devastated that you would have to have surgery, or just that
No,
the extent
skate.
of the injury.
That I had to have surgery. That was my first surgery ever.
Oh wow. Oh my
That
god.
was my first time ever even being put under.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was all
I
that.
mean, lucky you.
And then it was the timing that it happened with in the middle of wanting to. I had literally had like a list of maybe like 10 more tricks that I wanted to do for my part, and I wanted to get them so bad. But
Do you think that helped you do those 10 tricks later when you got healed, because you had to spend all that time not being able to skate, and you were like visualizing, fantasizing about when you get back that you're going to do those?
yeah, I mean,
Like watching other people skate?
I probably haven't done any of those tricks yet because I'm waiting for till I'm in that position of filming my next big part again. Because when you're like, I had been filming those parts for a couple years. It was the one that I put out with Ty, and then it was the Nike Need That part. And it's very strategic how you go about it. You don't just like go do the gnarliest tricks right away. You kind of wait till it gets down to the end of filming to do the gnarliest stuff. So then in case if you do get hurt, you at least already have most of the part done.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, my last one. Yeah, absolutely.
You were like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the hard one.
The hard ones, yeah. I mean, they weren't so perilous as yours were, but definitely I was like, okay, I have enough. Now let's try to get some of the dream tricks, and if I don't get them,
Yeah. It also it takes a lot to try those tricks. It's not like it's just on your mind and
It's
then
torturous.
and then you wake up one day and you're like, "Oh, I'm just going to go try it today." It's like
Yeah.
it's something that's on your mind for a long time.
Yeah.
And like if let's say I want to skate some 30 rail, and then like the weekend before I was already skating like a couple big rails, 18 rails, 20 rails, and then you feel ready to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, sweatpants. What's up with that? You know when you see guys with sweatpants and it's like baggy in the butt and baggy in the knees, or they got like ankle freezes, or they got like weird little dirt stains? Those guys are bums. No one's ever going to get laid with those pants on. If you take anything from our show today, It's that perfect jeans isn't another pair of stiff, uncomfortable, nut-crushing pants. Yeah, I got perfect jeans. I've changed shape because I'm freaking jacked now, and they still fit because they stretchy and stuff. And I'm packing, if you know what I mean. But I got a booty too. I got backs for days, bitch. I put a week on it, and they fit in there too. It's finally time to stop crushing your balls in an uncomfortable jean by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code WOLF15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with the promo code WOLF15 after you purchase. After your purchase, they'll all ask where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. F*** your khakis. That's how you guys say it. F*** your khakis and get the perfect jean. When you say haunted, you're thinking about that big rail just on a regular day, like that just
on a daily basis. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of tricks that I think about on the daily basis.
How haunting is it? Like, do you ever like lose focus on your day-to-day life from it?
No, I wouldn't say haunting. It's like, it's more just like, for me, it's more kind of looking forward to finally going for it after it being on your mind for so long.
Is it a mindset that you know today's the day that I'm gonna try it, or like when you get closer to that day, you're like, I feel like my body and my mind it's almost game time for this particular trick?
Yeah. Normally I'll decide like a week before. Sometimes it'll be the day before. And there has been a couple times where I wake up and I just randomly feel like going for a crazy trick and make it happen that day. But
like scramble, get the filmer, let's go.
Yeah, just solo too, like just me and Ty out there. It happened on this that kickflip back grind I did down this like curved 24 rail in my till death part. And it was just random. It was literally woke up that day and I was like, I feel like trying this, and it was only me and Ty there. I was just skating with headphones in to stay juiced up.
And, how do you wake up with the mindset that was like, I'm gonna call, we're gonna go today? What was the difference between that morning and any other morning?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. Sometimes you just feel it. It's just there. Yeah.
I feel that.
I'm sure
oh
you get
yeah,
that
for
feeling.
sure.
Yeah.
But I have the luxury of just my spot is always in one place.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's some mornings you wake up and you just feel like trying a new trick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday actually.
Yeah.
Didn't work, but I tried. What?
Did you do backside tailslide yesterday?
Yeah, but I literally tried a new trick and it just didn't. It wasn't going to happen.
Ooh.
It's
What were you trying? Are you
complicated.
gonna tell us?
Oh man, it'd be like, how do I can't. It's hard to disseminate it for you because it's, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, right.
Don't know. Talking about the street thing.
Yeah, but he'll get it.
But how? Okay, so it would be a half cab body varial to frontside hurricane to fakie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frontside hurricane. Yep.
But you gotta pop
Yeah,
off.
no, I get it.
And I couldn't get my board to turn all the way into a hurricane.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to come in forward, so I wanted to go like hurricane and then turn backside.
Mm-hmm.
But I just couldn't get into the grind, and it was too much energy.
That would be a sick one though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It would have been, yeah.
I love watching all the lip tricks you Vert guys do. It's so sick.
Oh, thanks.
So sick.
What word was that? Disseminate? What'd you say?
Yeah, because when you talk to hardcore street guys, especially like him and Riley, and you're trying to translate Vert tricks.
I'm trying to learn a word.
Yes.
You feel like I'm making
Disseminate.
fun of
Yes,
I'm trying
disseminate. Yes.
Yeah.
Like breakdown.
I'm finding it difficult to disseminate it right now, Tony. Is all I'm trying to say. Man, I ain't coming at you.
The weird thing is we don't usually talk about switch. Like if you go, for instance, I'm getting the weeds here.
Let's get in the weeds.
If
Let's
you
go.
front 270,
Yeah.
front 270 to sugarcane, they call it a switch crook. Right? So you go front 270 to switch crook.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like we wouldn't generally say switch crook.
Yeah.
I would.
Really? But
You would?
Yeah. Sugarcane is not.
Sugarcane's sick. That's OG. Chris Miller.
no, the trick's sick. But it's very different than a switch crook though.
Yeah, but on Vert, you can get away with it. You can kind of drop it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, I get it. You're right.
Yeah. Me and Nyjah, we get it.
Okay, I'm the lone warrior of old school.
Oh man, Witherby over here with the sugar canes.
I'm carrying the torch
Yeah, don't give up.
for the old generation.
Yeah, roll it out.
I think it's more or coming in regular, the stuff like that. When you say those things, you know, like we just grew up stuck in this nomenclature. So
Yeah.
when you say coming in regular, you just come in.
Yeah.
You know, come in regs.
Bro, skate talk is fucking hilarious. It's
It
really
is,
it's really
yeah.
another language.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I tried to explain to people. It's funny because there was one X Games, and sorry, I don't remember which one, but I think you were best trick, and you did kickflip frontside hurricane on a down rail. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And I was trying to explain that to people that didn't skate, of like when we were talking about your drive and your precision. I was like, Nyjah's a machine. He does the most hardest tricks. And then I came up with that, and I was trying to explain how precise and how detailed that trick is.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what? And I was like, you don't understand. Kickflip, and he lands on a frontside hurricane. Then he comes off the rail straight. And
Yeah.
it's I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Just so
I
you know.
think I remember which one you mean. It was like, yeah, it was somewhere random, maybe like Barcelona.
But I think it was more like you had to have something of that caliber to win the event.
Yeah, I
And then
think
he did
it
that.
was when Street League and X Games did that year together,
Yes,
and they had the
that
best
was
trick
it.
section.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like because you're so good? Like I feel like Tony dealt with this in his prime, where the judges don't score you as like a normal person. Like you have to outdo yourself to get a score that is fair. Like, do you ever feel like that sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, judging and skateboarding is always gonna be kind of weird, and
Yeah.
it's hard. You know, it's hard to get every trick on point every time.
Right.
I think for the most part, the judges nowadays do a really good job. But back in some of those earlier Street League years where I was winning, let's say like 80% of the contests, I definitely went through some rougher years with the judges. I feel like I really had to like outdo myself every
Right.
time, and I feel like I
Or
always
they're judging you against what they think you're capable
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
or
and-
what you could have gone further, not against everyone else.
Yeah, and I was always trying to like mix up my tricks and not do the same ones every time, because that won't help with the judging when they see someone do the same trick.
Did you ever try to surprise them with stuff that you were working on prior to the event but not showing at the event?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's even nowadays there's tricks that I'll practice and I won't show on social media very much. And then even at the contest, like you don't want to be out there in practice. I mean, it's kind of stupid that this even makes a difference, or that we think it makes a difference, but you don't want to be out there in practice landing your trick like multiple times.
Please, same.
Yeah.
I would go to the events and be like, I can't do this in practice because they're
Yeah,
going to see
so-
me making it, and if I don't even try it, they're going to mark me down for it.
Yeah. So there's some tricks in practice that I won't even try. I'll just wait for the contest. And then there's some that you'll like flick it, lock in, then just jump off. Do that a couple times and like, oh, I'm ready.
Even though you know you probably could have rolled away.
Yeah. But also it's kind of nice because if you don't land one in practice, then it makes you even more hyped to land it in the contest for the first time. So
What about when you don't try it until it's game time? Does that build pressure? Like, because sometimes wouldn't you prefer to try one
definitely, yeah.
before
I mean,
the crunch time?
It just depends. It depends what trick. It depends what obstacle. If it's a really big obstacle, if it's something that's dangerous, and if it's normally on an obstacle like that, it's a trick that you already know you have, but you just have to be fully committed.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you'll probably wait for, because like, is it really worth to fully go for it in practice and then get hurt?
I knew Vert dudes back in the heyday of the 90s that they could do McTwists, but they never did a McTwist until it was in their contest ride.
That's Lance.
And it would always there was like Kendall.
Yeah.
There was a few people that like there's this New Zealand guy, Andrew Morrison, I think his
Yep.
name. Yeah, and he had them. They were great. But if it was like a session, no way. He
Yeah.
would never try it. And I'm like, you don't want to know you have that in the pocket? Like,
Yeah.
but it's like they call his name out, and you could, because I can relate to it a little bit. Like, when it's contest time, you definitely want to make it. So there's more pressure. So it
Yeah.
kind of helps you want to make it. But also, I would like to spin one just to get a bit of a vibe before I have to make one. But
Definitely,
it seemed
yeah.
like some of those guys, like
I think for them, they saw it as a huge risk factor, and if
Right.
they're going to take the risk take it when it counts.
Right. But it always worked. That was the other thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like all those guys that only did it when it was in their contest ride,
Yeah.
I never saw them eat shit on one. They
Right.
just always made it. I'd be like, man, what's the
Yeah.
the heart rate?
adrenaline,
when
yeah.
when you're like, okay, here it comes.
Yeah.
Haven't done one for like 6 months, but it's
Yeah.
like such a crazy way to look at it.
Yeah, there's some street skaters like that too. Some of the best guys will be out there in practice skating super mellow, doing little warm up tricks, hopping on a trick, jumping off, and then the contest starts and they land everything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the strategy now, right?
Yeah.
Is there? Are your runs when you're doing a routine on the whole course? Are your runs fully mapped out, or do you improv, or do you have backup tricks?
My runs are always planned.
Straight, like this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it.
I mean, honestly, I'm so experienced with skating these courses that we get the course design like 2 weeks before, and I'm on the plane on the way there looking at it, studying it, and like I already know like the majority of my run that I'm gonna do before I even
and
get
it
there.
almost always works that way.
Yeah.
You don't show up and be like, "Oh, this is not what I
A couple
thought."
things I'll probably switch up, but like 80% of the run I already knew. I
Wow.
was gonna.
That would relieve some pressure though, right?
Yeah. Well, it helps you. I mean, especially at these Olympic qualifier events, they only give us like 45-minute practices,
Mhm.
so it helps to go out there and like already have an idea of what you want to do.
Wow.
I do got to tell you that I've seen you in recent events too, and I appreciate that you use the quarter pipes a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He'll do like a blood fakie, where everyone else is
They
either
won't touch it?
no, the axle stall, or they'll grab their board and run over to another place.
Yeah, well, it sucks. I would like to use them more, but I feel like most of the time on those courses that they make the quarter pipes really mellow, so they wouldn't work good for like, let's say like a backsmith grind or something, you know?
Yeah, I know it is a weird.
They're
It's
banky.
it's just aesthetic. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this looks like a skate park, but no one's really using it as such.
Yeah.
But I saw you do. I think you did a blunt figure recently. I was like, yes.
I'll run the blunt kick flips a lot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's a good one to squeeze in there.
Do they count that?
Definitely.
They
Yeah,
do.
I was gonna
Definitely.
say.
Yeah.
You ride Vert?
I mean, I can do very little on vert, but
Do you skate it at all?
I mean, I can drop in, rock fakie. I mean, depending on how
Like, when
big it
does
is,
this-
I'll do like an axle stall. But
When
if-
does
if-
this happen?
if
Like
it-
when do you go?
We had a big mini ramp session in Ethiopia,
But,
Yep.
It
like,
was
is
sick.
it's like it was almost.
but that was a steep one.
Oh, the
That
mini
one.
ramp?
Yeah, the mini
Yeah,
ramp,
but
yeah.
it was like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Okay, so
That was
he
our
said-
common ground.
But so
But the Vert ramp that you
if
walked
I-
by and you go, yeah, I'll drop in. Like,
Oh,
when,
for sure, yeah.
When's that?
I mean, whenever I'm at one, I'm not at one very often.
the quarter pipes at his place are pretty big.
Yeah, one of them's like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not mini. They're like you could blast arrows on them.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued as to when you see one and you drop in on it. Why? And what do you do when you go there? Why can't? Because
No,
you know,
it's-
if he wanted to, he could do
Of course.
everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, does it interest you, and have you done it?
It does interest me. One day I would like to pad up. I would have to get used to sliding on my knees.
That's
because
the
it's
thing, right?
Yeah, it's so
You guys
weird.
run.
I feel like I would just, even if I had them on, I think I would still run out. And
Yeah.
yeah. But I think if I did pad up and learn how to fall the right way, then I could back disaster, backsmith grind,
Kickflip frontside hurricane.
back tail.
Yeah, because dude, if he did,
Of course.
he could.
Any-
if
yeah,
you got
all
to
day.
the point where
Yeah.
vert was normal to you and you were just grinding around, if you can do kickflip hurricane on a rail, it's easier to
It's
do on a
way
vert
easier to
ramp.
aim.
I don't know.
It's way
about
easier
that-
to aim for the
that-
coping.
Doing even a regular hurricane sounds insane coming into.
Because only because you're saying that you would have to learn how to fall off. Like you'd have to learn
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
knee slide.
Yeah, but
For
also
me-
learn like hurricane, you're going like that and then in, like that part going in
Yeah.
just sounds so
Oh, because you come
scary.
off the end of the rail.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because
Oh,
he doesn't
yeah.
lift up like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't think
That
about
sounds
that.
insane.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but then for Tony and I, when we're on the rail in a hurricane,
Oh,
and-
God.
and things aren't going well, getting off that rail is just hit me.
You
in
talking
the
about
head
handrail?
with a- Yeah, like both of us are just like ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Like you run to toe and you do a little dance. And
All
you're-
I
and
want to
you're-
do is whenever I mean I don't hit rails anymore, but in the days when I would hit them, all I wanted to do was knee slide out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like go hit a big one and then at the bottom just one step knee slide.
Yeah, I don't even try to run on it. Like, I mean, when I used to ride any sort of street course, if I'm in trouble, I just skid on my
Yeah,
full body.
yeah.
Because there's no point me even attempting to run. I'm going to blow out everything that's already blown out. But on a rail, I think I go into shock when it goes bad.
Yes.
I think like when I feel something coming
Yeah.
off, I just go, oh! And then I wake up on the ground. I'm like, what happened? Because I don't even try to start doing the things that you guys do. I just go, this is going to be so bad. I'm already thinking that.
What's the biggest rail that you're comfortable just bailing on?
Comfortable bailing on, I would say probably like 15. Or even like Hollywood 16 is like that one ends a little high off the ground, so you're gonna fall hard. But if you're, I'm comfortable as long as it's not like a.
I'm not even
sketchy
comfortable
fall.
walking down that.
Wow,
That's ridiculous.
that is ridiculous.
But he can't knee slide, so what's up?
Yeah,
will.
man. I feel like so much of skateboarding is just knowing how to fall. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So much of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like that's something that I just learned well because I was so young. I feel like the younger you are learning those techniques, the easier they come
Because
along.
was
when you
so-
did them incorrectly when you were young, you didn't get hurt. You had the body to kind of take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
It was wild seeing you come through the X Games and Street League too, but with your dreads and coming in where everyone's just like, have you seen this kid? Have you seen this kid? And then you just as soon as your run was on, you zeroed in, did everything, and it was like, oh, he's the best. Like there's, it's not a question of like he's pretty good for his age. It's like
No.
that's the best dude right there.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you. It's crazy to look back on those years and see some of the shit I was doing that young. It trips me out.
Consistently.
Like going
too.
all the way back to like Tampa Am when I won it in 2005. I was 10, and I just don't know how I did that. It's crazy.
I mean, do those tricks like if you look, let's say you took one of those runs now, where you look at it and go, I could probably revisit that, or it's just like, no, I'm doing other things now.
I mean, most of the tricks in the run, yeah, but I'm not good at heel flips anymore, and I was doing like heel flip front board, so that one would be hard. But even aside from that, just doing the whole run first try, it probably wouldn't be easy.
Wait,
Wow.
why don't you do heel flips anymore?
Bro, it makes me sad even talking about it because I had such a proper heel flip when I was a kid, and then as soon as I got a little older and like had my growth spurt and stuff, I think I just started kick flipping too much. Maybe it wasn't doing the heel flips often enough, and then they just slowly faded away. And then now when I try one, it just doesn't want to flip the right way.
Oh, wow.
I know.
What about
weird.
switch?
Oh, switch heel flips. That's my trick. Yeah.
That's it. We're just defeated. God.
Yeah.
I do want to. This is pretty funny. It was really interesting to me when we did that live stream from your park. Remember like a few years ago?
Yeah.
And you hopped on my board, and you were trying to do kickflips on my board, and your kickflips are so precise to your setup,
Yeah.
like you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I was watching. I was like, that's wild because he knows exactly when his tail hits,
Yeah.
size of his wheels. It's all just perfect every time.
Yeah.
And my board is like a Tonka truck.
Yeah.
It's got 60 millimeters, a little bit higher
Yeah, and he
concave.
couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it after a few tries, but I was more not like distant. I was more fascinated that it's just always so perfect and the same for him.
Yeah.
Like I'll kickflip anything because mine are sloppy either way.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I'll try his board. I'll try this board. Why not? It's got chances are the same that I'm going to do it or not.
But eventually he could do it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, it took a few tries.
But it was really fascinating, and I shot it, but I didn't share it just because I was like, I'm not throwing him under the bus. It was more of like a lesson that how he works.
So does that mean, because he's a guy that gives his board away after demos a lot, so he prefers trucks that are not worn in, which to me is like insanity.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
I need my stuff worn in, or I'm on the edge for
Do you
like
hold
a
on to
week.
trucks forever?
Yeah. My trucks I'm riding right now are probably on like month 4.
Is it
Month
the
4,
bushings or the trucks?
I never really swap out the bushings, so if I'm gonna put on new ones, it's everything. But
Right.
yeah, I suck at skating on new trucks. I
But
hate
do
it.
you? So if they're too worn in for you, or if they're worn in, do you like it because of the groove or because of how the bushings are?
The bushings, but that's when when as soon as the bushings start to blow out and
Yeah.
you can feel your trucks just always be kind of loose, that's when you got to set up new ones.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even get to that point anymore.
Yeah, he rides.
I hate it,
brand
but as soon as I feel like that, I'm like, oh man, I've been riding this way too long.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's different on Vert though. It's like Yeah, I don't know. Us street skaters.
But
are
you don't
so-
have like a grind groove that you
Oh,
fall
definitely.
into? You
yeah,
do.
yeah. Mainly like the crook groove is always really strong.
Do
yeah.
you try to create it? Do you make an effort to create it if you got new trucks, or it just comes?
Yeah. So if I'm setting up new trucks like pretty soon before a contest, then I'll like make sure I do a lot of grinds.
Yeah.
When I'm
That's pretty
practicing
cool.
and get it back in there, or go skate some streets, skating like ledges and like real like
Yeah.
more rough concrete and stuff will help with that.
It's like you're making gull wings.
Yeah. I haven't. Well, I ride 60, so I don't need a groove. My wheel's locked in. My wheel's keeping me afloat. Oh, that's really fascinating.
Us street skaters are so particular about our setups. It's crazy. I mean, some guys aren't, and I'm so jealous of the guys that can just skate on any board, skate any shape. Like I think it's crazy.
You're good at it, dude.
I mean, I can not the way he's talking about.
Yeah, but I can relate because I feel like my board is my board, and it's like if I break my board in a demo, it's like, hey man, just use mine. I'm like, no, dude, that's not gonna work out for me. But he can like the brand new bushing thing. The brand new bushing thing is crazy.
Yeah,
but
that
he
is crazy.
prefers it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but I've been
back in
doing
the-
it for so long, and I know exactly how much thread
What kind of
to
bushings
see.
and trucks?
Bones medium,
Okay.
and then Indy 159s. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
where
where
we're at.
Yeah, I think so. We're at now.
Yeah.
I get confused.
Okay,
Bones
wider
bushings
again.
they're good. They're good. I ride them too.
Yeah. So, but I know exactly how much thread I can see cranked down where it's just going to be
Yeah.
fine. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3.5 threads, even 4 sometimes, and it's good to go out of the
What
box.
the hell, dude?
That's
crazy.
my technique. I don't know. It's not a
But
secret.
it's popping up though. The kingpin.
That's what I mean.
That's
the
what you
kingpin,
mean.
I can
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
3.5
Do you ever have to
threads.
grind it down or no?
Oh no, it's not above the.
Oh, it's not
it's not
above.
above the
Okay,
hanger.
okay,
No,
okay.
no,
Got
no.
it,
I just
yeah.
mean like what's visible. That's the tightness. I
Got
have.
it. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Just that's impressive, man. Mine are bolted until the skate key snaps off in my hand. That's how tight
I rode
my
a.
trucks are.
Oh yeah. Well, some skate keys aren't deep enough to go 3 threads. Some skate tools,
Oh, okay, yeah.
because
yeah,
they're so
yeah,
you've got to like try to hold it on the top.
Yeah.
I hate those ones.
I bought trucks at the shop the other day because I was getting my son something, and I saw gold indies, and I was like, "Ooh, they'll match my teeth." I don't care. I'll admit it. Yeah, man, it's sick.
Oh, for sure, that's what he was thinking.
It was straight
Yeah,
up.
like
I
he's
was
not joking. That is a thing that went through his head. He's like, I got to get
I
that.
gotta get them. They match
Yeah.
my teeth. I'll be
Yeah.
so sick on the ramp. Like, "Ugh, look at my tooth. Look at my truck.
Yeah.
You don't even know me, bitches."
Welcome to our show.
Yeah. But
that's
they got
great.
that flat Allen key thing instead of they got like the Allen key in it and the nut.
Oh, like Grind Kings?
I don't know what they are. There's some indies that have like a different kind of kingpin where it's like it goes in that way. It doesn't. There's no bolt that comes up. It's like Allen key down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't go that tight. And I want my trucks to be tighter,
Yeah.
but these trucks match my teeth. So
Oh my God,
I just skate loose trucks.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't care.
Do you have different setups for different stuff?
No, but I honestly feel like I should sometimes with some of the spots I skate. With like, I feel like I should have a board. Like normally I ride 52s wheels. My trucks nowadays are a lot looser than they used to be. So I feel like at some spots I have to crank them down a little more at like high speeds. But yeah, probably little wider trucks and bigger wheels for certain spots would be better, and maybe a little softer wheels.
I have a question. When you are riding and you feel like your trucks are looser, does it change your flick, or does it change where you put your other foot, like the snapping foot?
Yeah, I would say it can definitely change the flick and just change your pop in general, because if the looser your trucks are, like the more chance it's going to be of
You're gonna go to one
popping
side.
off one side. Yeah. But I'm happy I got more used to skating loose trucks, because back in the day my shit was just cranked down.
When you were little.
Yeah, when I was little and even into those like earlier contest years. And you can tell when you can see my style change a lot back then from now,
Yeah.
even just from that alone. And it's you find yourself landing a lot of tricks and then tic-tacking after, and it's just not as clean.
Yeah.
But on the upside of skating tight trucks, your pop is so precise every time. So
Yeah.
which does help for like flicking into rails a lot, because
Yeah.
then even if you're leaning one way, it's still gonna flick exactly
Yeah,
how you want.
if I'm riding my trucks loose at all, I can't do heel flips on vert.
Really?
Yeah, because just I feel like I'm fighting against the board, wanting to already turn that way, so I lose the
Yeah,
flick.
I bet I would be able to heel flip a little better nowadays if I still had the crank trucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the problem.
Or you
Just figured
could
it out.
set up with your foot way off, like just your toe on the tail
Yeah.
to counteract that. That's why when you see vert skaters, when they go up for nollie heels, their feet are just in the worst position because they're trying to counteract that with their front foot.
Yeah, they're like really far off the board, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Crazy.
because you do nollie heel on vert, you've got to be like way on your toe, on your right.
Yeah.
You got to be way on the heel side of your nose,
Mm-hmm.
and then that'll counteract it to flick.
Yep. Crazy.
Fun fact.
Yeah. I ain't doing
All right,
it.
so
I'm not doing it either.
I
I'm
have a
just
couple. I have a couple
observing.
good vert stories, or one vert and then one just more like mini ramp. But so my dad grew up skating transition back in the day. He grew up skating like backyard pools and stuff. And he was pretty good at it. I've seen some like old videos and photos and stuff. He had some tricks. And then he always wanted me to. He was always pushing me to drop into like the biggest vert ramp at the Vans Milpitas skate park. Did you ever go there back in the day? Yeah. So that's where I grew up skating a lot before we had our own park. And I was always too scared to drop in though. So I would go up there, like think about it. And then like, next time I'm not ready.
This is when you were like 10, right? Like little.
No, this is when
Younger.
I was probably 8, maybe 7
Right.
actually. Yeah.
So the ramp
and
is
13 foot.
really big compared to you.
yeah. and slippery.
13 foot's big for a vert ramp, right?
That's
Back then.
general size now, but
Yeah.
back then it was big.
Yeah. So I finally get myself to go for it one day, and it took me so long to try it, but do it good the first one. And I was so hyped, and I was just classic little kid, like, oh my God, that was so sick. Watch that. I'm going to go do it again. Next one, I just leaned forward too far, skipped too much of the transition, just died.
Oh.
Hit my face, busted my lip, everything. Yeah.
Hit your face.
Dude, I got destroyed.
Did that scare you straight? Is that why you're the best street skater now?
Yeah, did you drop in again after that?
Definitely not that day, but it probably took a few weeks after that to go for it again. But no, I mean, I would say right off the bat, I was automatically drawn a lot more to street skating because I grew up watching all the street skating videos, all like the flip videos, the S videos, Ardo, Rowley, all those guys. But here's another one that's really funny on my dad's part. He was always trying to get me, as you know, he pushed me a lot to skate the biggest rails and just go for shit that I probably wasn't ready for. And then this is a funny one though. He had this idea that for some reason, he wanted me to be the youngest kid to do a 540.
Oh no.
And
I respect that.
and he would mention it all the time, and I'd be like, dude, like I'm not even good enough at skating transition to do a 540. But we had this mini ramp that he built in our backyard. I think it was like a 7 foot. Was the main part of the ramp, and then I had like a 9 foot extension, and I would go back there and skate it. But I would more do some lip tricks and disasters, like some back 360s and stuff. I wasn't really a big air guy.
You did backside 360s?
Just like not like above the coping, but just a little one.
That's still
little kid style. you
kind of
know?
harder than 5s, right? Kind of.
For me,
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he just wouldn't let it go though. So I think I maybe like just kind of tried a couple just to
like grabbing it
just
mute
to
or
please
ollie
him
540?
or grabbing it.
Wow.
Yeah, because he
Early grab?
wanted it to be like proper, like
you grab
above,
melon?
above the coping. I would grab melon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie into
but
it
no,
though, right?
I never came very close. But it's just so funny that he wanted me to try that. I was just like, it was so out of my skills on transition.
Yeah.
But I get it. If he's like old school like us, that was like, it's like one of those tricks where it might not be the hardest trick that you can do on vert, but it's definitely in layman's terms the most impressive.
Yeah.
You know, like when Mike McGill first did it, like I remember seeing a photo of it in a magazine. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
And the balls to like tuck your shoulder and look away for another turn.
Yeah.
It's
do a,
so
do a
crazy
1.5
to commit
somersault.
to it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I remember like people first trying it, like to me it was just I closed my eyes for like the first 10, you know, like every time I tried it, I was just like, I saw a video of people doing it, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep my chin to my shoulder, and I'm gonna close my eyes, and then when I feel like I'm coming around, open and see what's happening. Like I think the first one I ever made, I closed my eyes like when I landed because I was like, I don't.
First one I made, I held onto my board as I landed and all the way through the flat.
Yeah.
It was not leaving my side. I was just like, I'm holding on. I'm just gonna make
That's
this
sick.
thing.
That's sick.
Happy
Were
to
you
have that
terrified trying it?
Yes. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing.
Did you express that to your dad?
I mean, he was always the type of dad that it was hard to like express things to because
Right.
he was very stuck in his ways of the way he thought about things. But I think eventually it got past the point of me being the youngest person to do it.
Oh, right.
I think I don't know who it was, but I think he knew the youngest person that did it. So then once it got past that, he let it go.
Oh, once you got to a different age? Damn it, he's 9 now.
He can't
It's
do
too
it,
late.
yeah.
Oh man.
Man, who
so
was
good.
it?
Who was it?
Who was the youngest? Who's the youngest?
Oh, I
540?
don't know. I mean, nowadays,
Yeah, now it doesn't count.
Now there's probably a little 3-year-old.
there's some
coming up.
6-year-old in some
there's
tiny town Japan that
There's
just
like
did
little
it 720.
mushrooms that
So.
can do 900s now.
A mushroom?
That's what they look like with the helmet. It just looks like a mushroom spinning, man. I'm like, what the
It's
hell?
so Mario.
It is. It looks like Mario Kart. There's some video. I don't even know who it is. There's some kid out there that just. He's doing like back-to-back 900s, and he's just like he pumps.
Oh,
with his
yeah,
hands
yeah,
on his
yeah,
knees
yeah,
because he's got
yeah.
no legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a freaking mushroom
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It was either Emma or AO, but yeah,
Was
those
it?
kids are insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the most recent one that kid did? Was it a 1080 or what was it?
Nah.
Well,
Mitchie
Mitchie did 1260
Yeah.
on
okay.
the Mega Ramp. at
But what on
X
Vert
Games.
though?
On Vert 1080 gi did a 1080. Yeah.
And that kid's young, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He can do a 900
He
out
can
of a
spin.
lip slide.
Yeah, he can
Wait,
spin
so he
anything.
did 1080. So he did fakie and landed regular.
Fakey landing regular.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
Mhm.
He was
But
the
he-
first one to do that.
On a regular
On a
vert
vert,
ramp.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He has a crazy flat spin. Like the way he spins fives.
I've seen, yeah.
It's like he does 900s like he does 540s, where you can tell, like, he can see way more of it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care who you are. Everyone that's ever made a 900, you're losing a little bit of sight on something for a second.
Yeah.
This guy's like,
No,
one,
he's
two,
spinning a
like, he
different-
can see it.
Yeah,
You can
he's
tell.
spinning on a different
Like, he'll
plane.
control it. He'll adjust his foot on it. Like, he does them in contest rides like that X Games where he was doing judo 900s, and I'm like, did you?
Oh, and Nolly 9.
Nolly.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
He just has you can tell his spin. The biggest one is a lip slide into a 900, and
Yeah.
his 900 is like 4 foot high.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what?
wait, how do you do a 4 foot high 900? I'm like, he does.
Have you ever explored doing fives downstairs or anything? Like fakey?
Fakie. I think there's a couple people that have done them, done some small.
Yeah, I was going to
sets,
say, I know
yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah. I'm Evan Smith
Yep.
would do them.
Mhm.
Nose grab. Nose
Whoa,
grab
you
5.
grab.
Land fakie, yeah.
Lamb fakey. I was thinking
Yeah.
more like Caballero, but then extra turn.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one too, but yeah, Evan has a sick one. Yeah.
Dang.
But you've done like a 270 lip and then 270 out.
Yeah.
Right.
I've done the like fakie, the cab flip with an extra turn on like hips before.
Right.
That one works. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know, right?
But let's talk about this 900 situation a little bit though. So like when you, because
I didn't see this coming.
Wait, what?
This is great to be able to ask you about this. So like when you're
Is it his podcast?
when you're spinning like that, like do you get dizzy, or 'cause
Uh,
I feel like the average person would just have even when they
you don't
landed,
get
they wouldn't
dizzy.
know where they are.
You don't get dizzy. You get disoriented, especially the first time you try it. You have no idea where you are, right? And so you're hoping that you're gonna come around face down, like on your knees.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I ever tried it in '87, I landed on my back.
Mm-hmm.
So I spun. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get around." All of a sudden, I was sliding down the ramp backwards, looking at the coping, like, "Oh, that didn't work."
Yeah.
And then
And were the falls just brutal or what?
yeah, I shelved it then because I was just like, I don't have what it takes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was more that it wasn't that I couldn't spin, or it wasn't that I didn't have the height. It was more that I didn't have the confidence to go that many. Even though I thought I was going to do it, at some point after 1.5 spins, I was like, "Fuck it," and I would open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's more because you've done it and other people have done it. Because when I started trying it, it had already been done.
Mm-hmm.
But I did one the other day. I spammed one the other day accidentally because I was doing a 5 and I looped out right when I took off, and I accidentally did a 5 on the way up. And then when I got to the peak of the 5, I was like, my buddy was going around that way. And I'm like, you gotta be joking me. And I had to like tuck and go around again. I'm like, and Bucky was there. He's like, dude, you just span a 900. I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't want to. That's different. But
That's crazy.
But there was a time there where if you did do that extra spin, you were out of your mind.
But also, but to answer your question, if you go up with the intention of doing 900 and you only spin a 5 and you open up, that puts you way further out on the wall.
Yeah.
That second spin brings you back to the wall. So the most dangerous thing you can do is to intend to do 900, only do a 540, and then you're just looking out over the flat.
Yeah.
And you got a long way to fall. So if anyone out there want to try 9s,
stay tucked.
after you go 540, keep spinning. Even if you don't have a hold of your board, even if you don't know where you are, keep spinning because that'll bring you back to the wall.
Make sure your body at least does.
Make
the
sure your
9.
body does a 2.5 spin.
Yeah. Wow. And then, I mean, I feel like rolling away from it is a whole nother thing, though, because I picture rolling away from that, your shoulders would just want to keep turning. Yeah. Unless you did it how you landed that one in X Games.
The first one I landed was more of an arc.
Yeah.
You know, I was
but
carving.
the one you landed in X Games, you kind of like slid into it perfectly.
Yeah.
Where I feel like if you over rotate at all or even land straight, you're just going to keep going.
That's why I do it in a carving one, in an arc. Okay. Because then you can kind of... the dirty secret is you don't have to spin as much if you carve it.
Yeah.
But also it's easier to land straight on a diagonal instead of trying to go straight up and down. Like Guy does it straight up and down every time. And that is the danger factor of crazy, like an over rotate and then back of your head is exponential.
But he makes it look like a 720.
Yeah.
But I was there when he did that first 900 and I was on the transition because I was working for X Games. And when he spammed one and landed and whipped off, his helmet kind of came off a little bit. And I was like, oh, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
But I also was thinking to myself with my skateboard brain, there's that little section where as he puts it down and stands up, I don't know how he stops everything from spinning because he's spinning so hard. Like I was like, God, Tony Hawk and God combined will maybe make that work out because I was
there's a point where if you've done it, you start to sense when you can open up and find the landing. And so I finally figured out that I could go a little more straight up and I know where I am. It's just experience. Like that's all it is. And to answer your question, you get dizzy. You don't get dizzy because it's all happening in 1 second. Yeah. And you're not continually spinning. You know what I mean?
If you get dizzy, you're dead.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it's like what you do.
It's crazy.
For sure, when you're doing tricks, especially like backside 270s and stuff like that, you can't see. You just know where the rail is or you know where your board is under your feet. And that just comes from experience.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy how much of that plays into skateboarding because like I even think sometimes like you're rolling up to a rail and like you're not looking where your feet are and you're not even looking where you're going to pop. You just know at the corner of your eye where to pop. Yeah. It's so tricky.
And you know if it's gone bad immediately.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the rail's supposed to be here or whatever. And so same thing with doing any kind of spin on vert. As soon as you snap, you know if you're fucked.
Yeah.
And you have to just go with it and take it. But as soon as you take off, you're like, oh my God, this is going to be
like on Mega
problem.
Ramp, when you go over the deck, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as you're in the peak of on the way up, I've done it where I'm in the air and I'm like, oh no,
I'm gonna bounce off the coping.
I didn't look at it. Yeah. I felt that I'm over the deck.
Yeah.
It's like,
and when you're in that position, is there any like strategy to the fall or like?
Sometimes you can pencil in. Sometimes you can make your body straight.
Oh yeah, do the lawn dart thing.
Yeah,
so
if you go like lawn dart, so your butt misses the coping, and that has saved me a few times.
But then there's over the deck.
Oh yeah, then it's done.
I've gone over.
That's like the Jake Brown one.
No, we're talking about over the deck.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about
he pulled out too far.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm thinking of the one where he hit the coping.
That's Elliot Sloan.
I swear there was
Elliot
a Jake
did
Brown
it.
one.
Danny Way did it. I did it.
Maybe I'm thinking of D-Way. Yeah.
He did a backside 5 where he clipped the deck.
Yeah. And he caught his feet on that one where he caught his feet and then flipped over. That was a heavy one.
I did an Indy 5 and went way over and hit my hip on the coping.
Ooh.
And then bounced and had to front flip and land on my back on the flat. That was like,
Yeah, the hitting the
kinda-
coping is just the first stage of the slam
Yeah,
on the
there's-
mega ramp.
yeah, there's another one
There's
coming.
another
Yeah.
drop after that.
Which is so crazy for when you ragdoll against the coping from like 16 foot and you're like, "Waka!" and then you're still conscious to be like, wait,
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
Bro, those falls have to feel like they're so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You ride
And
dirt
you
bikes,
you,
right?
you
Yeah,
anticipate it.
It's like that. Like when
Yeah.
you do something wrong on a dirt bike and it's like a 100-foot tabletop or whatever,
Yeah.
because of skateboarding, that crash is like, you're like, okay, I've had like 7 different decisions right now in the air of like, get off, get on, stay on. What should I do? Should I hold on? Like moto is so much worse because I have too much time to think about what's going to happen in the air. That was the thing that freaked me out the most about dirt bike slams, where I was just like, because they say you got to stay on the bike. The bike takes like most of the compression, but a skateboard brain, I'm like, eject, get out, you know? But
Yeah.
it's like, don't get out, stay on. And my buddy's like, no, get. And I'm like, no, dude, stay. And I'm like, oh, but do I have to stay? I don't want to stay. Like those slams are the worst.
What has been the most frightening stunt or trick that you came upon where you're like, I have an idea, and then you went and you're just like, oh man, this is way gnarlier.
What one that I've done or wanted to do?
Either both.
Let's see. The scariest one I've done. Man, let's see. I have a good story about one I wanted to do. I wanted to do, you know when Scheckler had that really bad fall on that hubba, it was that King Tubba. It was like on the live Street League thing. So I had actually been wanting to grind that for a while. I had looked at it a couple times, but the thing's just not that good because it has a beveled edge and it's hard to like stay on the grind. And then I heard about him going to do it, and I was like, damn, that's so gnarly. He wants to try that because front side is even harder because it's going to push you off the ledge easier than the backside. And then I watched his tries in that fall, and I still wanted to do it after. I went there to do it, and I was like, dude, this, like, I already watched what happened to Shex, and like this thing is just like it could be done, but if you are somewhat not on the grind the right way and you get pushed off, like it's just the same thing that's going to happen to him. You're just going to buckle your legs, your ankles, everything. You're like 15, 20 feet in the air. So yeah, that's one I had to back out on. I did hop on a couple and jump over, and then I was like, I don't know if it's worth it.
Wait, you could, but you did jump on and
Can't
then
believe you
jump
tried it.
off.
Yeah, so there's it's still a big drop on the other side as well, but it like goes in a dirt. So I was just jumping on the grind. The ledge is like that wide, and then I was jumping over. Because if you jump to the left, then it's a huge drop.
Did that hurt when you jumped over into the dirt?
A couple of them were kind of sketchy, yeah.
Dude.
But yeah, I mean, it's.
But you tried those with no intention of making it.
Yeah.
on those attempts.
Yeah, I was just testing it out. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show like there's you have to know your limits. You know, you have to know not even just your limits. You have to know if something is really worth trying or not, or if you should wait and find a better.
So what was
spot.
one that you actually did where you didn't realize how frightening it'd be?
Let's see. Man, there's been so many grinds and stuff.
The last one.
I'll call out that up down flat down
See
rail
that
I
thing?
did for my last trick in the need that part. That one was really, really scary because it was hard to get on the rail in the first place, and it was really steep up, and there was a short flat and really steep down, and it was like
See that
I
one?
think it was like a 20 stair that went down, and the stairs were just like a cliff. And by the time you got to the down part, you had like no momentum. So you're
Wait,
just
the
like
down part was scarier than hitting the up part.
the down part was the scary part, yeah. But
Okay.
by the time you get there, you're at the flat about to go down, and you're like standing up so tall, and you're barely moving.
And also,
because it's so
you
steep.
never put yourself at the top of a rail.
Yeah,
You're always putting yourself down a
ve-
ways,
very
right?
different feeling, yeah, because you can't really like. Normally, we gap out pretty far down the rail to where
Yeah.
it makes it a lot safer to fall.
Oh,
But this one, it's like I had to really wait for the right one to be on to like fully commit to. And then also, if I felt myself going at all to the right, even if I thought I could maybe make it to the bottom, I had to stop and jump out because there was a light pole that was like this far away from the rail on the right. So that was the scary part. The whole time I'm like, dude, if I lean at all to the right and I hit my face on this fucking pole, like I'm gonna be knocked out like beyond belief.
Yeah.
So that was a scary one.
Did you feel where the pole was when you passed it?
Yeah, definitely.
How many times did you actually go down it?
I went down it. I think I stuck like I stuck one before I landed, and then a couple different ones I had to like jump off a little earlier to the bottom.
When you say stuck, like you landed, got wheel bite?
Almost rolled away. Yeah, I think I just slipped out, and fuck, dude, I was so pissed. I was like, I cannot believe I have to do this again now because I didn't land that one. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of those street skating spots, it's not only about the obstacle you're hitting. It has to do with a lot of other things around it, even just like little like the dimensions or the downhill, the uphill, the cracks, and like there's so many different things that come into play that you have to think about. It's a lot.
I got a question, because you're always like further in the sport and you go to places where you're like, no one's hit this spot yet. Do you ever think in a way like a Danny Way thing where you're like, I'm gonna make an obstacle and do something on it that is further than we've gone?
You guys are gonna laugh at this one. The only thing that I've ever
I don't.
Yeah. the only thing I've ever thought of to that extent with like making something to skate would be some sort of like city skyline, like rail, like just going across two buildings.
For the visually.
It's just something insane. Yeah. That's the only thing I would ever think of making.
Like he jumped.
Oh, you mean actually do it from building to building?
You mean grind from building to building?
Yeah, something
Please
like
don't
that.
do that.
I mean,
if you're gonna do it, just go fast enough to clear it.
I don't know if you
How
could.
does that work?
I don't know if you could ever find the right building where it would work, but
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to know about that. That's a terrible
man on
idea.
wire.
Yeah.
Man on rail.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you have like a parachute or something? Because
maybe.
Bob did that, right?
Yeah.
Grind to parachute. Freaking maniac.
Clive did that lip slide between the two.
The water towers.
The water towers. Yeah.
That one was sick.
That one's gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's even gnarlier than that is the Jeremy Ray.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
That one's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. I've been wanting to go look at that in person for a long time just to see how gnarly it looks in person and to see if anything else is possible.
Daniel Sturt, who shot that, told me that he had his camera in one hand and he had his phone with 911 dialed in the other.
No way.
Would there be a point?
Dark, dude. I didn't even know that.
Would there be a point in 911 if he fell down that gap? Like, it's over.
I don't know.
I think it was crazy just watching him jump it.
Yeah.
Like run and jump.
I think it's crazy he did jump it.
Yeah. I would not have done that.
Absolutely not. I would have
much rather. You would assume you're going to be going faster than when you're running.
Yeah.
To ollie that thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I see the confidence booster, and if he can run and jump over, he's like, oh, I can ollie it, you know?
Yeah, but fuck.
But yeah, I ain't doing it.
It's so gnarly.
Yeah.
I mean, the craziest part about that is he pushed into it, and there's only so much run up.
Right.
Yeah. He didn't get much
like
of a push.
Let's say if I wanted to try a trick over it or even just ollie it, there's no way I'm risking pushing into that. Like I'm gonna have a bungee or I'm gonna get a fucking dirt bike up there or something. Like
that's it.
That didn't happen back then.
Yeah, right.
No,
and good luck being the dirt bike guy. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna whip you into it and then hit the brake and
he's
knock
in
you
way
off.
more
No,
danger.
You got to get him a ramp so you can jump out.
He jumps next to you.
Ooh.
There you go.
Hey, I'm
right.
down.
Hey, you guys collab right
now
here.
I'm hanging out. Yeah. Make sure that ramp is sturdy though.
So,
knowing me, you know.
It just slides off.
It just breaks as I go through it. Just you ollie over it. God damn it.
What has been the most fun thing about all this skating success, travels, opportunities?
I would say, obviously the number one thing, as you know, is just making a living off of doing what you love. That's the thing that I'm always the most thankful for because, I don't feel like having a normal job or having anything in my life that would be very like repetitive. I feel like it doesn't match my personality well. And I think that's the part about skateboarding that's the most fun for me is especially street skating because there's always new spots to skate, new cities to skate, new ways to challenge yourself, new tricks to try. As you know, there's just like it's never ending.
Right.
It never gets boring. And I think that's the most fun part about it is like I can have, even on like just a mellow street skating day, I might not be going out like trying the hardest trick, but just I'm going out hitting new spots, grinding rails. Like I can have so much fun on those days, just hanging with the boys and just having a good time. And like it's amazing how like something like that I've been doing for over 20 years now, but it's still, the love has not faded one bit. Like it's only gotten stronger. Yeah.
We feel that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, more than ever. Being old and skateboarding with all your old friends and seeing how we're like, remember when we were like,
but I mean, at
super
some point, and I hope you get to keep skating when you're our age. Like every kickflip's going to be a gift. You'd be like, yes,
that's the plan. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I got to give it up to you because you're 55 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's great inspiration, man, because I truly do love skateboarding so much that I want to be able to do it as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to do, you know, all the 20 rails and kink rails and crazy
but
shit,
also you're proactive in the fact that you're taking care of your body. You want to stretch. We didn't learn that till so late. I mean, I haven't learned until really recent years.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to be okay. That's mine.
That's good. I need that hope.
That's my summary.
Yeah. I really want to be 56 years old, still out there getting clips.
Oh yeah,
you will.
Dude.
Yeah. 56, riding 56s.
Yeah.
Go up a little bit. Yeah. Well, Nyjah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yes,
we're big fans.
Thank
when
you.
you're 50, you could probably like start riding vert, knee slide, and do a couple back.
Yeah, maybe I'll learn how to knee slide. Yeah.
I mean, you could. There's definitely something you'll be able to do that no one else can do when they're 50, and then you can send it to your dad. Like, Dad, I'm the oldest guy to do this instead of the youngest.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, yeah.
Good luck.
I don't know what it is, but...
Yeah, probably not the 540.
No.
I'm not talking about vert. I'm talking about, like, some, laser flip or hard flip or something.
Oldest guy to grind a handrail.
What's
that would be a good one.
That is so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like that, I would respect. Whoever the oldest guy is that hits like a 10 stair, I'm praying to that guy because he is a magician.
When I hit that rail at the barracks, that was my last day of filming there.
Yeah.
That was the last thing we had in mind, and I rolled up to it like 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was frightening.
I was hyped to see that.
Thank you.
That was sick.
I don't remember how old I was, but you'll be okay. You'll be able to outdo that, no problem. Yeah. What is like right now? You got your board. What's your go-to flip trick? Not just a kick flip that you could just snap every time.
Switch heel flips and switch frontside flips.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah. Switch frontside flip. Oldest guy.
Why did you ask him that?
That's the goal. What's that? To make you feel bad.
Yeah. Well,
to make us both feel bad, kind of.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. That was fun.
Thank you guys. I love a good skate talk. That was great.
Love it. Weeds, man.
We are.
Yes.
We have to. We got the Maestro here. We have to get into the weeds.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Like and describe.
Like and describe. Do a switch heel. Good luck.